And the theme music stopped, so now we're here.
Here we are.
Hello. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Wait, I need to move this. Why is this over here? I need to look at everybody. Because I have to look at myself.
You don't want to be like me looking up into the distance?
I don't like to, like... So you guys are usually on monitor 2, which is recently moved, but usually you're on monitor 2. But I want to put you on monitor 1 so I can look at you.
We're your number one?
You're my number 1 babies. I love these babies.
These are good babies.
These are some good babies. I'm going to make myself slightly bigger than you guys, just because.
Pretentious.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm going to... The tradition is now, I don't really say the opening things for a minute or two, but...
I'm Chris.
Shut up, Chris. Hello and welcome to episode 129 of the Game Brew Podcast, the bi-weekly video game podcast where we sip delicious bevs, discuss video games, and we have spent 5 years doing this. Do you love us yet, Dad? He's Chris.
I'm Chris. What were you doing when you were 5?
I don't know. I was trying to play soccer. I don't know.
Oh,
What were you
me
doing?
too.
What were you doing when you were 5? That's a good question.
When I was 5, I was really into the Beatles, and nobody
Nice.
knew who they were at 5. So I was the only one who was like wearing a Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club shirt and like talking about Yellow Submarine like that was relevant to any other 5-year-old. That's what I was doing.
And you were just going like Octopus's Garden. I want to go to an Octopus's Garden.
Everybody was talking, what was it, Blue's Clues at that time? And I was just like, yeah, but this Yellow Submarine thing, guys.
Oh my goodness. Well, by the way, I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan.
I guess
Hi, Allison.
that's Chris.
Allison.
This is Allison.
And
Sorry,
that's
we kind
Allison.
we kind of moved out of the intro and I got confused.
It's true.
I'm Allison.
Listen, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's always my fault, you know? And that's kind of how it works. But on this episode of the Game Brew Podcast, visual version, this is the podcast you can look at with your eyeballs.
It's a podcast you can see.
On this one, we're talking about whether or not your game has wood. Does your game got wood?
Got wood?
Yeah, but the first
I'll
thing...
trade you wood for sheep.
No.
Yes.
Or...
Actually, I'm usually the sheep hoarder in that game. I
know you
I
are.
trade sheep for everything.
I remember that.
We have a group chat that's all my best friends from home, and it's called Or What, because every time we play Settlers of Catan, someone's like, do you have any ore? And they're like, or what? And we say it so much, it's very annoying, but now that's the name of our group.
Incredible.
But this is a beverage and video game podcast. What are you drinking, everybody? Also, yeah, this is our 5-year anniversary podcast, BT Dubs. Just
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Did we confirm that it was definitely 5 years?
It's
and not
5.
6 years?
It's
Okay.
5 because I went to the website and I looked that we released it on April. Technically, it was April 16th, 2017, and now it's 2022.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like I was pretty sure it was 5, but I wasn't there for that. So I told Dan, I was like, I don't know.
It's like, is it 5? It's like, I'm pretty sure it's 5. So 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's a long time to be doing anything, let alone talking to you guys. Chris, you got a green-
Wow,
do
that
another 5.
sounded really negative to us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Talking to you guys. Ugh.
Especially talking to you guys.
This is the new Gamer podcast. There's no structure. There's zero structure to these.
Yeah,
episodes.
it's like
I think
the
it gets
shadow,
worse every
the
time.
shadow of
Yeah.
our old structures here.
Well, but
it's degrading rapidly.
and you know what I've noticed is most of the podcasts that I've been listening to have also degraded in their structure. There's a really funny podcast called Hey Riddle Riddle. Have you ever heard of this? Hear about this? Anybody heard about this? Heard about this?
I have not.
Basically, it's a riddle. It starts off as a podcast where they solve riddles and do improv. But it has since pretty much fallen apart and is mostly improv, and they maybe solve one riddle in like an hour and something. It's really good, and that's kind of my brain has done that to everything that I do now.
Yeah.
But anyway, what are we drinking, everybody?
I'm
guys.
drinking this Motueka Splendor. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I think it's Motika.
But it's Motueka.
Mo- I think that's
Motueka.
Motuu.
I don't even know what Motueka is. I assume it's maybe a hop.
It is a hops. It's also a town in South Island, New Zealand.
It's
Oh,
a thing that'll kill me. Noted.
We're going to get to the bottom of this pronunciation.
Pronunciate.
Motueka.
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 But it's in New Zealand. So hold on. Good eye. So Motueka.
Is that near Austria?
Motueka. New Zealand.
Near Austria.
Australia.
Yeah, right. No, Austria.
I was trying to give you a.
Australia is the Mandatory Fund Commissioner.
Yeah,
It's from
yes.
No, but the
He
Mandatory
was lobbing you a soft one.
The Mandatory Fund Commissioner is from Australia. He's not from Austria. Stop saying that. You're going to give people incorrect information.
Sorry, I thought I always get them confused.
Yeah, you get them confused. They start with A's and end in ia.
And have S in them.
Yes, there is an S in them.
Oh,
nice.
man.
Well, what is this tweak? I just can't do it.
Yep.
Do it.
It's a double India Pale Ale, but it's definitely more in the hazy, juicy side, which I'm a big fan of. And it's from a brewery that's 5 minutes from my house, which is cool. It's like this farm brewing company. That's really cool. I like that it's close, and I like to support them.
That is nice. That's why I drink so much Cloudy and Cumbersome, because
it's helpful that they're good.
Yeah, it's not great whenever it's like a not good brewery, you know.
And then you're just like obligated to it. It's like it's going to that family get together with the people that you don't really like in your family, but you just kind of have to.
It's like, I gotta go. It's my brother's birthday, so
they're gonna give me so much shit if I don't go.
They're gonna yell at me, and then cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
They're gonna ask why I'm not married yet. It's just gonna be awful.
Well, now it's worse because I have me and Hannah have been together for 2 years, so almost.
I cannot believe you've already been together for 2 years. That's
it's like
crazy.
in June, 2 years in June, so we're getting close, but.
Just like in Avernus, time doesn't really make sense here anymore. Post COVID,
yeah, it doesn't.
In COVID, I guess. I don't know.
Alice,
I'm always lifers in my relationship. They give up on that, that after a while. They give up on the whole like marriage and kids thing. If you keep telling them no, eventually they just like give up.
No,
not my thing.
Don't want to do it. Leave me alone.
I am drinking blue raspberry Kool-Aid with blue lemonade. What is the blue one?
Blue raspberry?
Is it blue raspberry? That's the one, I think. But I couldn't remember if that's what it was. And then blue raspberry lemonade with mango rum.
Ooh. With mango rum?
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing?
So
Malibu. What up, Doogs?
Can we talk a second? Ooh, mango Malibu. That's
mango
awesome.
Malibu.
It's so good.
Can we talk about how blue raspberries aren't a thing?
Well, yeah, it's a fake fruit. They just made raspberry stuff and said, "What if we made it blue?" Blue raspberry.
I wonder if it was just because like strawberries already red, so guess it's gonna be blue.
I think. Well, I mean, raspberries are kind of like reddy purple, and yeah, they couldn't delve into either of those because black cherry is kind of the color of raspberry, so they just went ahead and were like blue. Yeah.
What? And that's the thing is like blue raspberry stuff. I never think about tasting like raspberries. It tastes like more blue.
It tastes like blue raspberry.
It tastes like blue.
Blue raspberry is its own flavor.
Yeah. Oh, glassesless Allison. Quick screenshot. I don't see it very often. Oh my gosh. Quick, everybody take off your glasses. This is what blind people look like.
I gave up on wearing glasses during the pandemic.
Cat Couch Gaming says I blew myself. Oh, love a good what was that show that was in? Shoot. Arrested Development. Anybody?
I've never seen
No?
it. Nope.
Not a,
Nope.
I only watched it because it happened to be after or before The Simpsons on Friday nights.
Oh man, I love that show. It's a lot of fun. I'm drinking Harpoon beers. Hannah got me Harpoon beers because she was out and she said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Do what you usually do. Pick something that looks pretty cool." So she got some Harpoon stuff.
Is it any of like the Dunkin' Donuts ones or?
No, not the Dunkin' Donuts ones, which I didn't really like those as much. This is just like some pretty good like summery ones. Right now I'm drinking the Harpoon Bohemian Pilsner, and it looks like a playing card.
I like that. That's cool.
That
also reminds me that it's PAX season. The Harpoon Brewery's like 10 minutes from the.
That's right. It's very close, isn't it?
From the Boston Convention Center.
The Boston.
I haven't really paid attention to like anything that's happened from PAX East.
I don't know. There hasn't been. I haven't seen things. Like I haven't seen things.
So, yeah, here's the thing, and I was kind of talking about this earlier on the podcast I was sitting in. Like, there's no game news being screamed at me right now. Like, there's nothing really being released in the near future I'm thinking about.
I mean, February was huge, though.
Right, but now it's like this big lull. I didn't really think about it.
LOL.
Yeah, it's a big lull. I mean, it is kind of in between release seasons. Like there's usually like beginning of the fiscal year or like the end. Beginning of the fiscal year, they release a bunch of stuff. So
and
February,
then like holiday season,
and then summer. They do summer games, so there's going to be some summer stuff coming out.
But I don't even know if summer games. Can you name a summer game you're waiting on right now?
No,
I'm waiting for Total Warhammer 3 to have their update.
But that's not a new game either.
That's true.
That's what I'm
feel
saying.
Like a new game though.
I don't know.
There's like nothing releasing this summer. There's nothing until holiday season. I think that I'm even thinking about.
Wow.
There's gonna be a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up, which is kind of awesome.
That's pretty cool.
It's great.
Did you know about that before this moment?
No, I just looked it up on the 9 most exciting games to check out from PAX.
Here's the thing. Like, I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but every year I kind of have this mental checklist of games all year that I'm waiting on. And I don't have that this year, except for like a very select few. I don't know. I think it's just kind of different to previous years for me.
Yeah, there's really not. I'm looking through too, and it's. Oh boy.
Probably the best thing I saw from PAX East was someone cosplayed as. Have you heard the legend of Let Me Solo Her?
Oh, Let Me Solo Her? Yes.
Yes.
Everyone has played Elden Ring.
So there's a really hard boss, Melania, I think is her name.
Melania.
Aren't they all
or
hard?
Millennia. Right.
Well, she's like super hard because whenever
she's optional,
she heals herself.
Yeah.
Which is rude.
Yeah.
So there's this guy that like. Or girl, I don't know.
It's a girl. It's a girl.
No,
it's a guy. Oh,
their avatar's a guy.
It's a male. Yeah.
Yeah. But this person has apparently helped like 200 people defeat Melania. Mm-hmm. And he dresses up like he's naked. He's got two katanas and then a bucket on his head.
Yeah, I think.
And he just wrecks her.
Well, yeah, he
but
does.
How does he have no armor and he wrecks her?
Because he doesn't get hit.
It's you just he's learned the dodges. I just be Elden Ring update. I'm level 153. I've played for like 100 and something hours. I did beat Melania.
Nice.
And I am I just died fighting Malekith the Black Blade. So I'm very close to ending the game, I think.
Nice. Are you going to be happy or sad?
I'll be happy because but also sad, but also happy.
Yeah. I've taken a little bit of a break.
Oh no.
I'll get back to it.
Cat Couch Gaming says Switch Sports, which I'm guessing is coming out
this
soon.
Summer. Yep.
And then Pip reminded me, she's right. I am excited about one that's coming out soon. Rune Factory.
Nice.
So forgot, honestly. Yeah, I love them.
I've heard they're made by the same people that made the original Harvest Moons, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is why I even picked them up in the first place. I remember I was at a GameStop and I came in and I was like, hey, I just fell in love with this Harvest Moon game, but I finished it. Do you have anything that's kind of similar? And they were like, Rune Factory. If you haven't,
It's already out.
Game.
Allison, it's already out.
Oh, it's already out? I thought it came out in May.
Pip says it's already out. I trust everything Pip says.
I thought it was coming out around my birthday. I trust her too.
She tells me what to do and I do it. That's how our relationship works.
Well, then it's not a new game. It's already released. Dang it.
So then it doesn't count.
Well,
So we're
it's
back
new
there.
to you.
We're back there. Yeah,
Doesn't count.
Maybe I have it. Oh, I'm such a failure.
But yeah, I mean, I still love Elden Ring. It's really good. I got my friend Dave to play it, and he was like, he's never played any of these games before. So,
How did it feel for him?
I mean, I haven't gotten the lowdown because I kind of I gave him some space, to do it. And he's playing it. And I think he sent me a text message that said, where he's just like, all right, he sent me a picture of him like in the first place and was like, I'm
in Limgrave.
Yeah. And he was like, I see a man with on a horse with a giant axe or a spear or something. So I'm going to sneak around him. And I was like, okay.
Good choice.
It's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Good deduction.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what else have I been playing? Anyone else playing the Skywalker Saga, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga?
No, but I saw Will Shell playing it earlier.
It's a great game. I mean, that might not have been Will. That could have been his kids. It was probably Will, though.
I'm sure it was Will.
It's really good. It's cute and funny and Legos.
Does it have something for people our age, or is it more kind
of there's like quests and puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
And like tongue-in-cheek jokes because it's Lego stuff.
Is it different than like the other Lego stuff they've done before, or is it all just mashed together?
It's different because it actually has voiceover stuff. Like if you remember the old Star Wars Lego ones, it used to be just like they wouldn't say anything. It would just be like gesticulating and like making funny things happen. But there's actually
voice actors?
No, not the same voice actors, but like probably I think because they have Lego Star Wars shows now, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's the voice actors from those.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's fun. Hannah and I are playing it. It's pretty,
I've heard it's very good.
Great for couch co-op. Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And Fortnite, Warzone.
Yeah,
Fortnite, man. I'm like level 67 in Fortnite this season right now.
Well, wonderful. That'll go right into our topic in a minute.
No, because there's no building in the Fortnite that I play.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Allison, what are you playing?
I'm playing a lot of Lost Ark. A little bit of League.
How is Lost Ark still? Like, are you still?
Yeah, is it like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still loving it. So I've been playing it a lot more casually. Okay, so my guild is the #1 guild on our server.
Holla!
This wasn't the intention when we first started. It just kind of happened, and now we have to keep a standard. So that's a thing. Carrie and I are, intern are the filthy casuals, I guess, of our guild. But now, like, there's item level requirements if you want to be in. There's a wait list to get into our guild. It's kind of crazy. So we are trying to get more involved in the game a little bit, I guess, just to kind of like contribute. We hosted like a game night this weekend and stuff, where we played Jackbox with the guild.
Oh, cool.
But you have to like grow your guild in the game. So you start only being able to invite X people. So it was really just a small friends only guild where it was just people we really knew in real life. Like Frank was in it for a bit, although he's not playing anymore. Carrie's in there, obviously. But then a lot of our friends fell off. And now it's just a bunch of people who are very serious about the game and a few of our friends. So we have 44 members is what we're at right now.
Wait, do I have to roll for that? 4d4? Is that what?
just 44. That's the max number.
That's the max of any guild size? That's
No. We still have a few more levels to go, but we're getting towards the max. So Guild versus Guild is going to come out maybe next month, maybe the month after. And stuff like that, like having a bigger guild is going to help you, but they don't want you to have too big of a guild. So they kind of limit the number that you can have. So I do know we max at some point. I don't know what the max number is, but
69.
yeah, right now, yeah, 69 is
fun.
probably it.
Just for fun.
Probably. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it still. I've just gotten to technical end game content, but then they just released, literally the week after I got to end game, they released another little section of the world. So now Southvern is available to us, and I'm going through that story. So yeah, I'm not even still at end game, but I'm having a really good time. I'm enjoying it. I'm trying not to burn out on it because I know a lot of the guys have, because honing your gear, so leveling your gear, is really unforgiving in the last level. So a lot of them are really frustrated trying to push it as fast as they can and just like eating through their gold and everything. Yeah, Carrie wants me to tell you that I made a spreadsheet because I'm getting more serious.
So what are you tracking on the spreadsheet?
So I have a spreadsheet now that tracks my daily, weekly tasks that I'm supposed to be completing, because I just made an alt. Yes.
So why do you need to have a spreadsheet to track this? Why is it not tracked in game?
There's so much. There's just so much. Like you would have to look at everything to track it in game and see if you've done stuff, and it's just no. And go to each character, no. So this is a way for me to be able to really easily, when I log in for a couple hours, be like, what do I need to do? What have I already done when I was on earlier? And not have to think like, holy shit, did I do these dailies today? Or did I do this Guardian raid? Or did I do the, like, it's a lot. There is a lot to the game, and I'm not doing everything every day. I'm just doing the really important things right now. But making a second character and trying to do a little better with leveling, like, I just know I'm not going to keep it in track. So yeah, I'm making a whole spreadsheet, and then I have a spreadsheet of links that are good to use. And then I have a spreadsheet where I'm going to keep track of the cards in the game, because that's a whole nother thing, and that's important. Anyway, it's a lot, but I'm enjoying it. There's just so much to do in the game, and I love that about it, but it is overwhelming.
That is that's approaching, like, you started to describe that, and I felt the way that I feel like Will Shell feels whenever we talk about Stardew Valley.
Yeah. I mean,
because
really,
like, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
It is, and that's kind of why I haven't played that way, honestly. And I mean, Carrie's been just off doing islands, because that's something you can do in the game, and you can explore all these islands.
I remember the map being like huge.
Yeah. So she's been doing a lot of that, and I haven't done any of that. So I'm starting to go and explore these islands finally. And like, what I was doing was like exploring just the maps themselves, and like looking for Makokos and side quests and things. And now I have a nice little website to help me not have to dig through those myself. I can just use that to find them. But like, there's just so many ways to play this game, and you can play it however you want. Can you be a serious player? Absolutely. And everybody in our guild is, except, me and Carrie, but you don't have to play that way. There's a lot to do in the game, and you can play however you want. So I really do like that.
That's cool.
I do have a question, and Pip, you can answer this by yourself if you want. Are there any island boys on the,
yes,
on the islands?
If only we could mute anyone who starts singing that in the guild chat whenever somebody mentions an island.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Chris, what are you doing, man? What's going on with you?
I've been playing my logistics games again.
Yeah.
So I've been continuing to play some Anno 1800, and then I've also gotten back into Hearts of Iron.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about Hearts of Iron, because I was actually playing that right up until right before this.
Yeah, because you were playing that a little while ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So Hearts of Iron's like a 4X style game by Paradox. So like, they make Europa Universalis, Victoria.
Yeah. And this is the one that's kind of like...
it's the lead up to World War II.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, each Paradox game kind of focuses on certain things. So like Crusader Kings is all about keeping your line of inheritance together, basically, and conquering that way. Europe Universalis is more like kind of more standard stuff. Victoria is more about like colonization and industrialization, and then this one is like just pure the logistics of war and like the lead up to it. So like you're controlling your civilian factories and your military factories and like espionage, and you can even get to the point of like designing your own tanks. Or like your own ships.
This tank has a rotating gun on the bottom.
Or you can like put a ton of stuff on it, but then it's going to take longer to make. So it'll be really good, but like you won't have that many of them. So it's just, and like you have to like make sure you have supplies on the line, and then you have to make sure that you have like your Air Force is giving enough air support to your ground troops, and so it's a lot. It's fun. I've played this game for 107 hours, and I still am playing on the very easiest.
Wow.
Difficulty. This game is a lot.
It sounds like it. It sounds, again, it's like, as you're describing this, I'm like, this is what Wilshaw feels like. This is what it feels like whenever people describe Stardew Valley to me. It just sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's super cool. I don't know. So one of the reasons, and it's kind of bad, I started playing this again because I saw a map of Russia invading Ukraine, and it looked like a map from Hearts of Iron, and I was like, I
kind of want to play that again.
Not a good reason to do that, but
I mean, war is never a good reason. No. But
I feel like the work versus value balance for a game is different for everybody, and that's what defines whether you're gonna play it, right? So like you said, these things are sounding like just work, and for us we're just like, nah, the value's there. This is not work. This is worth it.
This is worth it.
Yeah, and it's weird because like I really am not a huge fan of roguelikes because I don't feel progression. But
right.
With this, I feel like even if I'm doing a playthrough starting in 1936, I might get to 1940 when things are actually just starting to pop off, and I realize I'm not prepared at all enough, and so I kind of have to learn from that and then restart from 1936 again.
Oh my gosh!
So I just looked at my hours logged into Lost Ark. I hadn't looked at it yet.
What is it?
It's 319.
Oh boy!
Right. Did you leave it open?
I must have left it open because there's
what, a week and a half?
There's no way that's accurate. Carrie,
I don't know.
Tell me what yours is.
Yeah, Carrie, what's your thing?
I need a baseline. Although I should probably ask intern because his baseline is probably best.
But
anyway.
And Carrie said that sales of the game Pandemic spiked during the beginning of the pandemic. So I mean, same thing. Same.
It's in your head. So.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're enjoying it, Chris?
Yeah, no, I like it a lot, and I'm it's multiplayer, so I can play it with other people. But the problem is, no one wants to play. This is very much like the learning curve on this is
very steep, right?
Very steep.
Yeah.
I feel like after 100 hours, I'm like starting to get a good idea of what's going on, but I'm still missing parts of it because I'm not doing great still.
Oh my goodness.
It's incredible.
Nope. There's no way. I'm accurate because Carrie has 268. Yeah, that's accurate. Well,
I've got 14 hours of Lost Ark.
I have zero. hours.
There you go. That's
0 hours.
That's a start.
I've got 93 in Elden Ring.
Nice.
I think you're probably past me now, Dan.
Oh no, I passed you. But her saying Pandemic reminded me. I think, Chris, I might have told you about this, but Allison didn't tell you about this. We started playing The King's Dilemma.
Yeah.
And it's a really fun game. Our last game that we did went way too long. And we started to, because one person was playing their secret agenda really well because they wanted everything on the board to be as high or low as possible. And it got there. But it also meant that our king had a really long reign. But I'm just going to list off some of the things that we've done. The first thing we did was we didn't abolish slavery, which was a mistake, but you know, it's fine.
I'm playing as Nazi Germany right now, so
It happens. But the well, if it's before World War One, it would just be Germany.
well, starts in 1936.
Never mind. Okay. But yeah, and then we also did a bunch of really bad stuff. Like we denied a bunch of trade. There was a woman there was a woman who said that she could help women in pregnancy, and we were just like, nah, she's a witch burner. It was really not good. Everything doesn't look great in our kingdom right now, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's really
all right.
fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's really fun.
fine.
King's Dilemma. Look it up. Play it if you want. Find 4 friends and then play it. It's great. Anybody else have any games they wanted to bring up? No.
I think we're good to move on.
Allison's playing Lost Ark and League of Legends.
We could probably build off that though.
We could. I don't know. I think it would be good for us to do that. You know, I'm just trying to.
We're construct a.
Yeah. I'm really trying to craft a good phrase to like bring us into the next part. But
this hurts like a thorn in my side, or a splinter, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a splinter. Yeah, I'm just gonna. You know, I just got to hit the nail right on the head with this. But it's our 5-year anniversary. The 5-year thing for anniversaries is wood. Allison said, or Chris said.
Happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary to us. And because that, we're going to talk about building games. Ben, the first question I wrote down, building games, is why are we talking about this? Well, it's because our 5-year anniversary.
It's made of wood. You make things out of wood.
You make things out of wood. You build things out of wood. What is another topic we could have chosen aside from that? Actual woodworking?
Well, so a witch burns because it's made of wood.
That's true. And wood floats, which means that if a duck weighs more than the woman, she's a witch, right?
Yes.
Okay. Allison, she turned me into a newt. Okay.
I have several questions.
You got better.
I got better.
Monty Python.
But crafting games where you craft stuff. Are we still into these? Is this still a thing that we like to do, everybody?
I mean, I feel like all the games I've been playing. I mean, it's a macro look at it, but
you're crafting empires.
Right, well, you're crafting like you're saying I'm dedicating this many factories to constructing tanks or like artillery or weapons. So like you're crafting them, and like you have like resources, and like you have to trade for some if you don't have enough for the things you want to make. So it's in a way it is a crafting game. It's just like, a very macro look at it.
I am crafting things. Those things are many tanks.
Yes, I make 10 tanks a week
out of wood.
Out of wood?
I hope not.
They wouldn't be very good tanks. They would
not.
Allison, are you any crafting games that you've played recently or done anything like that?
Yeah, fully. I really think we should have Carrie in here on this, if I was being honest. She is the craft game expert.
Oh, yeah. She's like super into like 7 Days to Die. And
oh, yeah. She's the one who always brings me into these games, if I'm being honest. Some of them, yeah, I would find on my own, but and I do enjoy them. Valheim was definitely the last one I played that I really, really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
But I do still feel like that was such an unfinished game, and it was just released too early.
Have you looked at it since it came out? Like, I guess a year ago-ish?
Yeah, I know Carrie played a lot of it, the new update. But I also know they burned out on it, so they're not playing it anymore.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of how I felt.
I just feel like there's that issue of like, there's not enough content to keep people in there. And I don't know how they resolve that at this point. They're playing on the back foot.
It's
Okay.
kind of how 7 Days to Die was at first, but now 7 Days to Die
Right.
has so much stuff.
Right, that's a game that they've been playing a lot, which I jumped back into for a minute with Carrie and her crew. And that game, yeah, it definitely feels a lot bigger than it did when I last played. I'll say that.
Yeah. It's
there was
lots of stuff to do and
lots of stuff to do. I feel like that's a game that if I had the time, but obviously right now too much of my time is going to Lost Ark. But if I had the time, I really think that's one that I could get back into because of the immense like things to do. And I think that's the important thing, at least for me in building games, is just feeling like the world is big enough that you feel very in it, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, like with building games, it's hard for me to just build the entire time. I find like, especially with like 7 Days to Die and Satisfactory, I needed to like take a break from building and go explore, or like maybe something I was able to do something better or more efficiently, or just able to do it at all. Like I basically unlocked an area and then I could go explore it, bring some of those resources back, and then build something new. So like I kind of needed a break from just pure building sometimes.
See, I was always house mom.
Yeah, I was always the scavenger and finder of things.
For me, that's definitely I was the exact opposite, and I just wanted to stay in the home and build while everyone went and did things.
That's funny. We would work great together.
There are I lost my train of thought. Hold on, I'm doing a thing.
Yeah, can you
I'm working on it.
I'm on it. You're good. You keep going with your thought.
I find that the way that I feel about crafting games is this.
Wow.
My brain had to reboot.
In summary.
Such as
for example,
I like games that are one thing or the other. I find with like Minecraft, one of the things I would do a lot, like throwback Minecraft, was I would like to like go into creative mode and just build stuff. Like kind of like Legos. I treated it like Legos, where I would like build like giant castles, and I'm like, oh, it's really cool, so I'm making this thing and I put this there. Or I would go into creative mode and then make like little obstacle courses for my friends to do, which I haven't done for a while, but it's still something I would like to do. So maybe I'll make you guys do that with me. Or like whenever it's like very specific goals, like Skyblock was a really cool thing that I liked in Minecraft. I liked
Skyblock.
That Skyblock is a mod where basically you start with on one block where there's a tree, and then you have to like build out from there, and it has like different modifications to it. Carrie and I were talking about doing Stone Block, which is one that's the same except for being on one block in the sky that you can fall off of. You're just underground and it's just all stone around you, and then you have to like mine stuff out, which is really cool. But I don't like Valheim was really good, but
it was good. I just kind of like Allison said, I kind of got bored with it. Quickly.
I got burned out on it. I think I played it for a while and then I was like, I'm kind of done.
Like the game itself was good. The world was massive. It felt good. Like the world itself felt real enough to lose yourself in, and it felt great exploring. But then there was nothing.
And then there were none. And then there were none. A question for the group: is Kerbal Space Program good? Should I play that again?
I haven't played it in a long time, but I know people like it a lot.
I've never played it.
I think Kerbal Space Program could be a fun game to play, maybe. It's very like specific about how you have to set up your rockets. I mean, it's another game that has like a pretty steep learning curve, I think, and Is that, Chris, do you find that to be a barrier to entry to you on games if there's a steep learning curve? I mean, I would say obviously not because of the games that you play.
It depends. There's some games that I just realized that like I'm probably not going to actually learn. Like I think Kerbal Space Program was one of those that I like. Like I got something, like I was able to get a rocket to get into space, but like I couldn't get it to the moon. And then I was like, all right, well, okay, I don't know what I'm really doing wrong here, and I don't know if I really care, so I'm going to drop it right now. And I haven't played it for a long time. So I mean, I think it really depends on if a game captures me or not, I guess.
Like Pokemon.
Like Pokemon.
Like if you were a Pokemon. I'm sorry, excuse me.
No, I know what you meant.
Okay.
I'm the Pokemon, and the games are trying to catch them all.
Yeah. And you are all of them.
I'm one of them.
I think that the option to build in a game actually draws me to them. Interestingly enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if there's a crafting system in the game, you like it more than if there wasn't one?
I don't know, not even necessarily the crafting system, but the ability to build
something.
Yes. So I was going to say crafting system alone doesn't do it, but like if I can make my own space, that's one of the things I really liked about New World was that you could like have a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Lost Ark, you can have a stronghold, which I thought was going to be more like I could build my house. And that's kind of been disappointing because there's no interior. Like I can't walk into my house. I think that's very weird. I can't walk into my house and like decorate it. I can only decorate my yard. And I feel like I'm putting
that's a missed opportunity right there.
It really is. I'm out there and I just feel like I'm putting junk in my yard, and I'm like, I want to build, and some of it's really cool. Like I'm building a maze right out of like out of hedges.
Are you building a maze?
No, out of hedges. And like that's cool, and that I can do these things, and they really allow you to have an open ability to decorate, but in the same respect, it's just my yard. I want to be able to like build a house and live in that house. And that I feel like is missing for me in this game. And if a game has something like that, it definitely gets upvoted for me. Like
it makes it so you can create something of your own, which is awesome.
Yeah. My own little space. Like in The Sims, sometimes I'd find myself like building these, like making characters and like getting excited about the characters I created, then building the house and taking a ridiculous time to architect this like gorgeous home, or not even gorgeous, just something that makes sense for the story I've created in my head for these characters I've made. And then like have that all, start playing them and be like, I'm done. I just really wanted to build.
I just wanted to build things. Fallout 4, you could build a house in that.
You could. So what's funny is sometimes they give you too much to build. And like that's how I felt in Fallout 4. Like so they gave you a ton of freedom to build whatever you want, and then you have to build all these settlements, and then you have to like it became busy work almost.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I would rather have one to build than
just one.
Like does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Because it's like when there's too much freedom, it's not good. When there's just enough freedom, it's perfect. But when there's not enough, when there's less freedom, also bad.
It's got to be just right.
Yeah. No, but like what Allison said, it's like it's like you can't go inside the house. You can only build outside. It's like, okay, well, that's fine, but it's not what I want.
Right, but it's something like you put your heart and soul into one settlement, and then they're like, "Hey, here's a new settlement," and you're like, "Well, I already made that one real good. Why have to do it again?"
I have that feeling about some games where, like a lot of 4X games where you do have like your main place, you're building up, you're doing all this stuff, and then there's like, oh yeah, you got to expand. So here's another one. You're like, well, I don't want to do that one.
But that's a little different for me because it's like,
is it?
Well, it's less about aesthetic and more about efficiency.
I feel like that's and this is maybe where building games struggle. Building games and just like all games, suffer or think about how can I make this replayable. And so to create either a destruction feature that happens like in Minecraft with creepers, or zombies who attack your facilities in 7 Days to Die, or they need something. So if they don't have any of that, I think they just open new areas they're trying to force you to go to. So you have to restart to try to force that replayability, because to the effect of, I've built this amazing place that I love, then what? If not to be forced to restart.
Burn it all down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's an interesting take. A hot one.
A hot one?
It's a hot... No, not hot ones. That's a different thing. Hot take on building stuff.
I mean, what other feature would you have that would keep you in that game, right?
Well, sometimes I feel that... But like whenever you have... Whenever it's an extra thing, like here's my... Sometimes I play Final Fantasy 14. Sometimes the house stuff where it's like I want somewhere to put my stuff in Final Fantasy 14, but I don't necessarily want to like add more things to the house to make it better. I just want somewhere to put all my crap that I have. I'm the guy who played Skyrim and had a companion that I would basically use as a pack mule. I just gave them all of my things so I wouldn't be encumbered with all of the stuff. Because Lydia. That's why Lydia is like, hey, she's great. She carries all my things.
Poor Lydia.
She fell off so many things at that point. So I don't know. For me, it's like I like crafting when it's by itself. I just don't like it when it's tacked onto other games.
I disagree. I think
it's always a welcome feature for me. Yeah.
There's some games that I like it when it's like if it's built around it, and I like that sometimes. But if it's tacked on, if it's not like just tacked on to be there, like did you play the Skyrim Hearth
and Home update?
No,
I never did.
Yeah. Okay.
I finished all of the things that I wanted to finish in Skyrim long before that was around. So I'll have to load it up again.
How have you not bought it again?
I only have it like twice. I had it on Xbox and I have it on Xbox 360.
I have it on 360, PC. I think I have it on Switch.
Oh my god!
So I guess I only have 3 versions of it.
Okay, all right. I have it on PC too because I wanted those frames.
Shirley Curry, the Skyrim grandma, still plays that game to this day. So there is plenty of content.
Yeah, there's plenty of things to do.
There has to be. It has to be because she's still doing it. I still watch her videos.
She just keeps on going. Just can't.
She's from Virginia,
right? She did live in Virginia. Yes, she is from Virginia, but she has now moved closer to family who has moved. So,
because she's a grandma.
Because I keep up with her. This is so weird, I guess, but I love her.
Not.
No, but that's what you do. That's what
your video game grandma.
She is my video game grandma, and I love her. When she lived in Virginia, I was like, that's creepy, but I'd love to visit. Like, that's so creepy of me to say, but she's here.
She was probably like, that's creepy, but, go ahead.
Yeah, she probably would be. She'd be like, I'll bake cookies, and I'd be like, Anyway.
Isn't there also a Warzone grandma or like a Call of Duty grandma or something like that?
Probably.
I don't know. Somebody will.
She's probably lightly more aggressive because Call of Duty.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, like in general, so if what you're saying is if a game doesn't even try to craft, but it's there, like it's literally tacked on, it's like a thing that exists, but they didn't think it through. No, nobody's going to like that. Okay. But in general, anything that it's a thought out crafting system, at least, that makes sense. I'm always good with it. I really enjoy that aspect in games. Like I hate to say Lost Ark. I'm sorry. I've been playing it so much lately, and it's so relative. But it has a system to craft like potions and to craft pieces to build in your house and to craft recipes, and it's all based on leveling up your stronghold, where you build all these things. So in that sense, crafting is not a main part of the game, but it is there and helps you kind of build your character out more to do those things. And I really like that, although it's nothing I'm necessarily like diving super into all the time. There's times when I go in there and I'm really looking into crafting more, and I like that it's there. So yeah, it's always a good feature to me. They could have just as easily just handed you those items, right? Instead of making it a craft system.
Instead of making you have to like pick up all the stuff, collect the wood, punch some trees, get the stuff.
But it feels more rewarding that I have to think it through and decide what I'm going to make and use these resources appropriately and go find the resources. And like, it makes the end result, at least for me in almost any game, feel more valuable.
I want to say
just finding it.
I want to say something.
And it's a resource dump, and it gets you something to do like in end game, basically. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to say something because I've been playing Fork Knife recently. Yes, I said Fork Knife. In Fork Knife, they added a no build mode, and I've never been happier because
that's so interesting. I had no idea when you said that.
Yeah, because I like Fortnite, but I got really mad whenever I'd be like getting all the way to the end of a game,
and they fit out a fortress,
and they're just all of a sudden just, and it's just like a bunch of like walls and stuff that go up.
So I think that's interesting because that game was differentiated because of that building at first, and people liked that. But a lot of people that were so used to
PUBG
and Warzone didn't like it. Because they're just so like, it's probably older people like us that are so used to just first-person shooters being first-person shooters and not having a construction aspect to it. So to probably draw more people into that's why they added it.
I think you're right. You're right.
You know?
Do you think it's a sign of desperation from a company to
not at all.
Take out such a? Just
well,
curiosity.
it's not the entire game. Like you can play. It's different modes.
So here's what I like about Fortnite is because they explain it because there's a story. This is what I like about There is. It's insane. Like, it's crazy. So basically, at the beginning of this new season of Fortnite, sit down, kids, get out the hot chocolate. I'm going to tell you a little story. So at the beginning of the season of Fortnite, basically, the world changed. Basically, you find out the world that you were on has two sides, and the world flipped over, and you're back onto the first side, which is basically the world before they reset everything, but it's like been aged. Like, things are different. Tilted Towers is there, Greasy Grove is there, which were all places from the original Fortnite map. And on the other side, there were these people called the IO that you really didn't know about. So when you're on this other side of this island, you're just kind of exploring, seeing what's up. There's these superheroes, like the superhero team called the Seven that are there.
Isn't that the name of
the boys? Yeah, it's there too. But The Rock is one of them. Rahul Kohli is the Origin in the new one, or the Scientist, one of those. But basically, what has happened is, in order for them to say, like, they justified their no building because all the people from the other side of this flat world built a giant drilled up through the ground, and they're called the IO, which stand for the Imagined Order, and they disabled building. So no one could build anything, and that was their way of fighting against all the people on this side of the world, because they were all like the cool, like fun, like, oh yeah, we're all like fish people, and like there's 19 different Jonesies, and so they disabled building, and that was it. That was the main mode for a while. And then as people kept playing it and they kept fighting back the Imagined Order, the build mode came back, but now they have two separate modes. There's like the no build and the regular build. I play no build because I don't want to deal with those walls.
That's a cool way to kind of introduce it, and then now people, like, if you've tried it one way or the other, you can kind of choose what you want.
It's true.
I think that's actually a pretty cool idea.
Speaking of Battle Royale stories, did you know that in the new Call of Duty Warzone season coming out soon, Godzilla and Kong are going to be in it?
When did Warzone become Fortnite?
They're all doing it now, man. It's crazy. Just make like just off the walls. Like that's really what it has to be in order for people to play it, you know?
Yeah. You know what I miss? Battlefield being good.
Yeah, right.
Anyways.
So interesting because Fortnite is just kind of taking ideas from other things and putting it into their stuff. Like IO, I thought
that's the origin of Fortnite.
Right, was IOI basically from Ready Player One. Like
interesting.
I mean,
but also like all their characters. I was talking to somebody about it. It's just like how many like how do they do this? I'm like, they just pay people money and they say, hey, can we use this likeness in the game? You'll get publicity from it. It'll be a thing. And so there's just like all the Marvel characters, freaking Coachella skins, sports stars.
Coachella skins?
There's Coachella skins that you can get.
God.
I know. We're too old to care about Coachella. Like but it's a thing, you know, people do that.
I'm just gonna go to my Fish concerts and my Humphreys McGee concerts and shut up, I guess.
Fortnite is collabing with League of Legends, right?
Yeah.
What?
Like Riot never crosses over, and I mean until they were bought out, I guess, because this is the first time I've ever heard of that happening.
It's Tencent, right?
Yeah, and they're in Fortnite.
They have stakes in both, but I don't know. That really doesn't have as much effect on this side, on that side of it. But I mean, with Arcane,
I mean, I think it does to some extent because this is something I never would have seen Riot do before. That's
crazy, yeah.
And just Fortnite's fun though, you guys. I'm sorry, it is. You know,
I love that you love it. I love that for you.
I'm gonna go play with my logistics games and
like Chris is doing big brain shit, and I'm just like, I like to shoot the walls.
So yeah, it's like I was experimenting with turning Mexico communist and then invading the United States, doing stuff like that.
Yeah. So
anyways,
I heard that Jinx was in there,
and
that's kind of it, right? It's just Jinx. So
I don't know. I haven't looked at any of that kind of stuff. I only get the Marvel ones. I really like the Marvel characters.
Right. I just think it's interesting how they're absorbing all these.
It's just everything's in it. Like it's crazy the amount of just like, hey, there's Resident Evil characters in it too.
Really?
Yeah, you could be Chris Redfield or no, but like Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine.
You can't be villains in Fortnite. That's not what they do. Although Jinx arguably
you can be villains in Fortnite. There's like Venom is in there. Carnage is in it.
Well, he's like an anti-hero.
Carnage is a bad guy though.
Carnage is a bad guy.
Okay. Well, we're approaching the end of the podcast segment, so I'm going to end this. I'm going to end the podcast the way that I usually do, which is ask our defining question of the episode. Allison, Chris, what should I build my house out of?
Well,
avocados
from Mexico.
Avocados
or wherever wherever. Yeah, sure, Mexico.
Okay.
You should build it out of brick, according to the Three Little Pigs, and I go to them for all my advice. So that's what I'm going to stick with.
For all your advice, you go for it. So if I were to say, advice. Allison, where should I invest all of these stocks that I have?
Allison, what's your favorite flavor of bacon?
Three Little Pigs. And I think the Three Little Pigs would tell me that vegan bacon's my favorite. And also, as far as where you should invest your stocks, they would definitely say in cryptocurrency. Yeah, because Three Little Pigs.
GameStop. I'm going to buy all the GameStop stock, just like everybody else, and hold it.
No, cryptocurrency. You're not listening to the Three Little Pigs.
I don't listen to the pigs. I don't listen to him. I listen to Sebastian because he's a cute boy. Okay, and I'm going to build my house out of wood because it's our 5-year anniversary. And with that,
it's like you don't even listen to me.
I don't listen to anybody. That's my deal. This has been the Game Brew Podcast. If you want to listen to this podcast that you've just listened to on the chat, you can do that by following us at the Game Brew, or the Game Brew, all one word, podcast, on all your podcatchers. You can also go to www.thegamebrew.com. You can follow us on social media at The Game Brew. If you want to hang out with us and chat about where you are in Elden Ring or see the new graphics card that Will bought, that you can do by joining our Discord, by going to bit.ly/discobrew. That's bit.ly/discobrew. Allison.
And with that, let's say goodnight.
No, Allison, plug your stuff.
Oh. Hi, I'm Allison,
Racing.
and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Vanalia. I stream every Wednesday. Everything willing.
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/tubecrazed, TUBECRAZED. And that's on Thursdays most of the time. It's playing Warzone with the brothers or Fortnite. We play a lot of Fortnite recently too.
It's a lot of fun to watch them guys. Go check it out.
We have great discussions about nothing most of the time. I have a lot of exclamations I say whenever I play battle royales that I never would say in real life, but I do say them. Makes sense. Chris, anything you want to plug about yourself?
I can't wait to play Hearts of Iron 4 with you, man.
And with that, we're going to end the podcast.
We're going to start playing Hearts of Iron 4
with Dan. We're gonna end the podcast the way that we always do by saying good night, everybody. So say good night, everybody.